Welcome. I'm Darrel Bowman.
And I'm Mel West, your business advisor. Thank you for joining us today and every Tuesday from noon to 1 for BizTechTalk, where we host in discussions with local and national business leaders.
Throughout our show, we're going to be talking to a variety of high-tech and business professionals about the latest technology and business trends, which are happening today and coming tomorrow. And today, we've got some really cool stuff going on. We've got some guests who have been here before, and they've talked about some of the things that they are doing. And today, they're going to be bringing in a whole new concept about money.
Well, and
which is always fun.
Collaboration. So they've come together, a CPA and an entrepreneur, to talk about building businesses in a way that can really help businesses grow. And on a day, May Day, right? It's awesome. 124 years old, but it's really focused more on the socialist aspect of business.
You're talking socialism again?
Yeah, and so we don't want to get into politics and stuff, but you know, this is really about bringing business and driving business.
Well, you know, last week was a really cool, innovative program too with Quirky.com. We learned a lot.
Yeah, and it was great to have Baron and Josh come on, and you know, just the social product development that they do over there. And
I think I'm going to make some money on that deal.
Did you sign up?
I was already signed up, but I mean, I think I'm going to be making some money on there. I made some product innovations last week that they're going to be sweeping the nation before you know it. Let me tell you.
But I think you have to get into the system and actually log it so that you actually get the
you really? Are you talking about?
Oh,
yeah,
stuff,
well,
right. So
yeah, okay. That means I got to type.
Yeah.
Okay.
So a little bit of the follow through.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll pick that up later. No problem. I'm already on it.
Quirky was exciting, and some of the products. You go on their website and look at some of the different products that have been developed and are already out in the system, and those that are coming up through. It's pretty interesting. A way to use really social media where they've got over 200,000 people that are already part of their system.
The products were phenomenal. Some of the stuff they talked about, and you know Josh's shower head, shower caddy and so forth. And they had a bowl on there that you always want to look for a nice bowl that you can serve in. But then hey, you got to strain those noodles and you flip this thing over here. And my gosh, it had a really very functional, stylish bowl front page center. I think I'd pay $49.95 for that thing. That's what I told him.
Well, and and Josh is an IT person like you, but his wife was able to really
quit her job
and focus full time on raising their child and stuff, and work from home using Quirky. So it's exciting. So it's great to have them on.
Yeah, I really did. And then in a few weeks here, we're going to have Kickstarter, another new folks out there that are helping people raise money, get their businesses going forward, and just innovative ways to use the web and social. What do they call that? Crowdsourcing. Crowdsourcing. That's right. So anyway, we're gonna. We always want to talk about some of the things that are going on, but we also want to talk about our BizTechTalk Executive Forum
coming up on May 15th.
Yes.
Actually, a week away, right? Or I guess 2 weeks away.
2 weeks away. Come on, this is May 1.
Yeah. Wow. Time flies, though. It
does.
Seems like we just finished up having Calvin on it was 2 weeks ago now, but it's just time really flies, and
we're going to have
4:30 to 6. But it's Tom Pearson,
Chamber President. He's going to be talking about what they're doing here locally and throughout Pierce County to help benefit businesses and to build communities and so forth.
Growing profits and building the community is what he's going to talk about, and how businesses and the community is able to collaborate. And they've got a lot of exciting things going on down at the chamber. And one of the things that when businesses are looking at moving in, a focus on education. And so I know that they recently just hired somebody that's going to be focused more on the education piece of it. And
and then we're having wine, so you just got to come down because it's a great little wine tasting. Hanson & Hanson provides the wine. It benefits the School of Business. So come down, drink, and benefit the PLU School of Business, who, by the way, are our sponsors for the BizTechTalk Executive Forum.
Right, and it's another way to engage with some of the I don't want to say youth, but the younger generations that are coming up. We had a few of the students join us last.
Quite a few actually.
And talk about the exciting things that they're doing and what they're learning, and how does that relate to business.
And if you get the opportunity to meet with these individuals, there are internship opportunities for those young individuals that are going out there building their careers, and they can show how they can help your business grow in innovative ways. Now, we had a show about that a few weeks back where we did talk with this Dean of School of Business, James Brock, and Bobby Hughes, who coordinates that program. So we just want to promote the fact that there are resources out there in the community that do not cost a lot to help you build your business.
And while we want to reach beyond just the local market here,
every college has that.
Every college has that. So, and fortunately for the Tacoma, the Pierce County area, we have a rich, diverse.
Boy, we got 5 community and technical colleges. We got 4 universities and school districts. We got a little bit going on out here, don't we?
Right, and we do, and that was exactly the point. Is that we've got a melting pot of education to pull from and to use for businesses to go forward and move their business ahead.
And there's always a small business development center or something like that at each one of those places that you can utilize their SBA certified individuals to help you in your business. And like always, we want to promote the opportunity to get out there and seek out veteran-owned businesses and veterans to hire for your offices and your labor jobs and whatever you need to fill that employment opportunity that those individuals have worked and served for our country, and they need that hand up. Not looking for a handout, just a hand up because they deserve it. They've earned it.
They're the 1%. So
I do. And so what do you think about taking a break here in a couple seconds? Pay a couple bills.
And we'll come right back and introduce our guests and start talking about a little bit about small business financing and how we come about this topic today with our guests.
Okay, thanks a lot.
You're listening to BizTech Talk on Clay 1180.
Cloudsway removes the hassle of small business financial management. Easily upload receipts, bills, invoices, POs, and other business expenses through your mobile device, email, or scanner. Cloudsway automatically scans your data and matches each transaction to your bank and credit cards. Invite staff to send their corporate receipts, allowing the team to contribute and collaborate, managing all company financial data in one location. Cloudsway's reports and alerts help to guard against fraud and expense abuse. Cloudsway makes it easy to protect your company's most prized possession, its financial security. Visit cloudsway.com.
Hi, Georgia. I heard the pipes burst in your office and you have to rebuild everything. Are you able to take care of business?
Bob, the flood was a minor hiccup. We are rebuilding, but thanks to our partnership with MyNetworkCompany.com and their office in an Icon Cloud solution, we work from anywhere at any time. With access to all of our applications and customer data, I never have to worry about expensive backups, hardware, or complicated servers. We are more productive now than ever. Plus, we turned our capital IT purchases into monthly operating expenses with a worry-free IT guarantee in the process. I recommend you call MyNetworkCompany.com today.
Few things say more about your business than the quality of the photos in your ads and on your website. Corporate photographer Rick Doms specializes in custom photography for discriminating corporations around the world and right here in Tacoma. Rick's photos have graced the pages of Forbes, Fortune, Barron's, the Wall Street Journal, and the marketing materials of a host of great American companies. Companies like yours. See what Rick Doms photography can do for your business on the web at rickdoms.com. RICKDAHMS.com.
Brings you the life of a business website. The majority of business websites can't be found by search engines, so their owners lose customers and money. An AIM business website wins new customers on Google and Facebook. Imagine your website with great content management, an integrated blog, clean designs, and clear messages. To top it off, at aimbiz.com, you get a free website design mock-up before you ever spend a dime. For more information, go to aimbiz.com. That's AIMBIZ.com.
Welcome back to BizTech Talk. I'm Darrel Bowman, your IT professional.
And I'm Mel West.
And we're here every Tuesday from noon to 1. Hey, check us out at BizTechTalk.net. Listen to our shows. If you missed this one in the future or in the past, download our podcast, and we're at iTunes as well. Email us your comments, suggestions, and so forth, because we really do want to know what you're thinking out there and what kind of show we should be putting on. So today, we're here talking with Lorrie Rarey and Scott West. You want to go ahead and introduce these folks there, Well,
we've got Scott West. He's the president and CEO of Cloudsway, and he's a local Tacoma entrepreneur and a graduate of the UW.
Oh, we won't hold that behind against him. I mean, there's a UW people.
But he also spends a lot of time, or I shouldn't say a lot of time, but he spends some time up there teaching entrepreneur classes, and I think that's what kind of generated today's, kind of our conversation, and we'll get into that a little bit more. But on the side, he does a little geocaching, and that's we talked to.
Yeah, geocaching, kind of going out there, breaking a few legs, and trying to hunt down things that people hide.
But then we're joined by Lorrie.
Lorrie Rarey, CPA. She owns her own accounting firm and Rarey and Associates. She's also a graduate of Seattle University. Been in the business for over 15 years. Certified QuickBooks Pro advisor since 2003, and really 25 years plus and in the business. So you can't go wrong talking to Lorrie and Rarey and Associates. And also, I think she's got a few other things she's been doing out there. She's a director on the South King County Chapter Board of the Washington Society of Certified Public Accountants. I would throw out the acronym, but then now I've just done that. So anyway, she's also a member of the Auburn Area Chamber of Commerce, Kent Area Chamber of Commerce, Transportation Club of Tacoma, and Master Builders Association and the American Society of Women Accountants, along with a few other things. She's also a speaker for the now that's a WSCPA, on their financial literacy project, and Habitat for Humanity volunteer. By the way, I've done that too, and I think it's wonderful. You get a lot of good feeling from that. So Lorrie, welcome, and Scott, welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you both for having us.
Welcome, guys.
Hey, today we're going to be talking about some of the things that we've talked in the past about is money. We've talked about money, but we haven't really dug into small business financing outside of those government programs and some of those other ones. The thing that today we want to focus on is really family, friends, and angels.
Well,
right?
and that's kind of where I want to start is how did you come up with this idea?
Well, I've been at a lot of the talks that I've been doing at the local colleges and also at the high schools have been about entrepreneurship. And the biggest question I've been getting is, how do you finance a small business? How do you finance an idea? How do you get somebody to invest in you and to believe in you? And so that's when I approached my partner here, Lorrie, and said, I think what we really should do is do a topic with both of you in regards to finding financing for a small business.
Now, you guys are collaborating on a book, amongst other things, a speaking roadshow. And can you tell us, is it too early to tell us a little bit about that?
Do you have groupies? I want to know.
Just you guys.
I mean, you're going to do a roadshow. I figure do you have roadies too and all that?
Are you volunteering?
Well, it all depends.
Well, the big thing that Lorrie and I both found is that number one, we work really well together. But number two, I come from an entrepreneur background. Lorrie comes from an entrepreneur background, but hers is really focused around the accounting and finance side, and mine is more of the presentation and get out marketing side. So the two of us together sat down and started saying, how do you build a legacy for businesses? And that is by what our idea is we're putting together a book and presentation and going around the country and talking to these businesses on how to make their businesses better and their accounting firms better.
Now, you guys are really focusing in on really the CPAs. Is that correct? And
Yeah, our goal is to speak to CPAs and CPA firms and help them come back to what they started when they started being CPAs. CPAs have been told for 15 years that they need to diversify, i.e. become financial planners, insurance brokers, do all these other things, when really there's a lot of things that we can do as CPAs, CFO by the hour, or just, CFO work, value-added services that we can provide our clients that we're not really focusing on right now.
That's at wealth management, things like that.
Yeah, wealth management, and also, utilizing technology, and that's kind of where Scott and I work really well together, because Scott's more of a technology guy, and I'm definitely a CPA person.
Okay.
Oh, money and tech. Well, biz and tech. You guys trying to take our show? What's up with that? Okay, welcome aboard. We'll have you on more often. So you have a great idea and a product. How do you go about financing it? What do you do? What's the first step?
Well, I was going to talk a little bit more about traditional financing, and Scott was going to talk more about the family, friends, and angels. And on the traditional financing end, that old cliche, what is it? Failure to plan is planning to fail, is definitely true when it comes to starting a business. And most business owners just go out and start, and they do it either on a shoestring or they think they can.
And their plan is on a shoestring too.
Right. I work for a plumber, ergo I can start a plumbing company and make more money, which isn't always true. But if the thing you have to do is have a solid business plan when you start off, and the bank wants to see that, and if you want to get SBA loan, guarantee, the bank is going to look for that. And so we can talk a little bit about what they look for in the packet that you put together.
And not that I want to promote another person's book or anything, but Michael Gerber, the E-Myth Revisited, that's the first thing that he talks about
it's a fantastic book.
Is having it. And, if you've got an entrepreneur out there that's looking at starting something, maybe that's a great place to start. But you talk about the traditional financing and that plan. Where does a person start?
Well, the best thing to do is there's a lot of resources out there, and the SBA themselves at sba.gov has a great website with a lot of information on it. But a lot of people don't understand that the SBA doesn't actually loan the money. The SBA guarantees the loan, and they don't guarantee 100%. They guarantee some percentage of it depending on what program you qualify for. So truthfully, you have to sell yourself to the bank, and once the bank approves you, then the SBA will back part of that loan. And you have to put together a plan. You have to put together financial statements and projected financial statements. You really have to be prepared to open yourself up to scrutiny. They want to do background check. You have to have experience and know what you're doing. You can't, if you've been the garbage man for 20 years and you want to start a restaurant, they're going to go, well,
where's that experience coming from?
Where's the experience coming from? And you have to prove that. They want to see resumes. They want to see a bio. They, again, they're going to look at your background, and they're going to expect you to also put some money in yourself. So there is an expectation that you're going to put 10 to 25% of your own capital, however you come up with that. And Scott can talk some more about other ways to do that. But a lot of people think they can just walk in and get fully funded, and it doesn't work like that.
So
yeah, we had Calvin. We had Calvin on a few weeks back, and he talked. Calvin Goings, the assistant deputy administrator for the SBA, and he talked specifically about that. So it was really an enlightening conversation. And here you are, a couple weeks later, just reaffirming that.
Right. And Lorrie, when somebody's going to go to not to the SBA, but they're going to go to the bank, what is that criteria that you're helping the business owners look at and work with to
from a CPA
perspective?
Well, from our perspective, we can sit down with them and help them put their loan package together and help them to think about the things that they don't usually think about. And so if you take, with the bank, I just sat down with a banker a week ago, and I put together some information because I'm doing some things that I require financing for. And I handed him my packet, and he goes, "Oh my gosh, I wish everybody would hand me a loan packet like this," because it was very organized and it had everything that they needed in it. And so you just, tax returns and your information and your financial statements and your projections, you need to see all that. And if you're new into the business world, most people don't understand how to do that. And so having a CPA on board also gives you credibility. If you've got an attorney and a CPA in your stable of service providers, and they see that you're working with somebody, they already know that you're thinking ahead and planning for that.
So when you're thinking about, those are traditional. Scott, you're talking about the non-traditional things, those family, friends, and angels, and approaching those folks. A lot of folks have always said, and I think we had this conversation many times in my family, and we did before we got the show started. When you go to a family member, it's really not, you're not seeking a loan, you're actually seeking a gift, because most family, they're not expecting to be paid. But, you're going to go see that VC or venture capitalist. Tell us how that works. How do you go about approaching them? What do you do?
Well, a lot of what Lorrie was saying actually falls true for an angel investor as well as a VC company. And I think, honestly, if you're going to approach family and friends, you need to have the same ideas that Lorrie was putting together. When you're approaching that angel or VC company, though, they're not really looking at your business plan as thoroughly as you think they are. If you go by the latest business plan software, Palo Alto's business planner, it'll take you days and days and days to create a business plan. The reality is they're looking for a really well-written executive summary, and they're looking at your financials. What are your projections over the next 2 years? What do you think you're going to be doing?
How much does just character of the business owners, and that's that creditworthiness. How much does that play into them?
Coming from the angel VC side, friends and family, 80%. 80%. The money I have raised through angels here locally, I believe has more to do with who I am and my belief in the product more than what the product is really. They're looking for honesty. They're looking for integrity. They're looking for people who really 100% believe in what they are doing. And it shows. It absolutely shows.
Well, and I think honesty, integrity, maybe this is a great place for us to take a break and
pay some more bills. Yeah,
stuff,
we got to pay some bills. and
keep ourselves honest and pay a few bills.
Exactly. And we do appreciate you guys being here. But anyway, we were going to... this is Darrel Bowman.
And I'm Mel West, and you listen to Clay 1180. We'll be right back.
Cloudsway removes the hassle of small business financial management. Easily upload receipts, bills, invoices, POs, and other business expenses through your mobile device, email, or scanner. Cloudsway automatically scans your data and matches each transaction to your bank and credit cards. Invite staff to send their corporate receipts, allowing the team to contribute and collaborate, managing all company financial data in one location. Cloudsway's reports and alerts help to guard against fraud and expense abuse. Cloudsway makes it easy to protect your company's most prized possession, its financial security. Visit cloudsway.com.
In today's economy, doing more with less has become the standard. Feeling overwhelmed or out of control does not have to be part of that standard. If you are looking for improved profitability and better teamwork, West Business Concepts' expertise in sales, organizational development, and finance offers real-world solutions today. West Business Concepts helps you develop clarity and focus on who matters most. Gain an edge over your competition. Visit westbusinessconcepts.com today. That's westbusinessconcepts.com.
Tacoma's Waterfront, a unique local asset providing recreational opportunities, jobs to support the local economy, and a safe haven for marine wildlife. The Tacoma Waterfront Association is dedicated to promoting Tacoma's waterfront. Join the TWA at its popular monthly meeting to learn more about Tacoma's waterfront and how you can be a part of making it great. Join the TWA on the second Wednesday of each month from 11:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the Center for Urban Waters to be a part of the community strength that's making a difference for Tacoma's greatest asset. It's waterfront. For more info, visit TacomaWaterfrontAssociation.org. That's TacomaWaterfrontAssociation.org.
In Pierce County, 17% of residents are food insecure. That's 1 in 6 people who are unsure where their next meal is coming from. Someone you know is going hungry. What can you do about it? Help support Fish Food Banks of Pierce County. For every dollar received, Fish's 8 food bank locations can distribute $7 worth of food to families in need. To learn more about stopping hunger here in Pierce County, go to fishfoodbanks.org. That's fishfoodbanks.org.
Hey, welcome back. I'm Darrel Bowman.
And I'm Mel West.
And we're here on Clay 1180. We're here with Lorrie Rarey and Scott West. We're talking about money again and getting investments for that business and growing that business, that new opportunity, or even growing the current one that you have. So,
and we were talking about integrity and honesty, but let's talk a little bit about family and friends and bringing them into the mix. And how do you go about approaching them, and what does that look like?
Well, Lorrie, I'm going to have you chime in on this too, but because you've probably borrowed money from family and friends when you started your business, and I know when I started my first business, I did the same thing. And I'm a big proponent for bringing in friends and family. But what I always tell people, what I tell students and make it very clear is that you should never go to friends and family and call it a loan. The odds of you paying that back are pretty slim. We have to remember that most businesses that start out aren't going to be successful, no matter how hard you try. There's always that chance that it's just not going to work out. Something's going to happen. There's going to be a disaster. Or it just doesn't work out. And you need to be able to live with yourself once that happens. So if you turn to your mom and your dad and you ask for
a loan, or $100,000, $10,000, $50,000, whatever it is.
80% of those businesses are failing within the first 5 years, and then 80% of those next businesses fail within the next 5 years. So
right. So yeah, if you're gonna ask your family, you really need to bring them in as an investor or ask them for a gift. Really.
So really, what we're calling this when you're going to family and friends is it's not an investment. It's really a gift.
It's an investment in you.
Right. It's an investment in you as their niece,
Prodigy.
nephew, son, granddaughter.
Now, Lorrie, here's a question as a CPA. Is that tax deductible when you gift that money to your child for starting a business?
No, it's not. It's
No.
not tax deductible. However, if you called it a loan and they defaulted on it, and you had documentation, it could be definitely a capital loss.
So now we're gone from gifts to loans. Real quick and all of a sudden it's one of these loans that you're not sure you're going to get paid back, but you may. And if you do, all the better.
What is the criteria when you're looking at family and friends for maybe calling it a loan? I mean, is there?
Oh, well, if you're gonna call it a loan, then you want to have a arm's length transaction. As anything, you want to treat it as a business. You start off from the very beginning treating your business like a business, and you would want to have a loan document. And in most cases, they're not collateralized loans. There's not anything that they're going to lean on for it. But you want to definitely have a promissory note documented with some kind of payment plan. Usually, the payments are deferred off, for some amount of time, a year, maybe 2. Maybe 3, depending on how long it takes before you think you're going to make money. But that's where all of your financial projections and planning comes into play.
Now, how many of your customers or clients that you have actually go through the friends and family channel for investing?
Well, I would say that probably the majority of the lending that people get are from friends and family or spouses or 401ks.
What are the possible repercussions?
For the lender? Or
Well, no, for between that, you're going to your family and your friends. Scott, you might be able to address that too. I mean, if you have a failed venture, and
Well, I will say a gentleman that I talked to about 2 weeks ago, he had borrowed $30,000 from his mother and father. The business failed after a year and a half, and he has not been able to speak to them. Now, they have reached out and tried to talk to him and forgive him for that, but he has not been able to forgive himself. So I think what is really critical here is, A, how strong is the relationship with the family member or friend that you're borrowing money from? B, can you personally live with the idea that you might not be able to pay that person back? Those are two very key factors. The third is, can that person that you're borrowing the money from forgive you if your business fails?
And
those are huge.
So
and also, you're with the CPA. You're gonna have a lot of projections. You're gonna have your plan thought out, well considered, and so forth. That's very important. So it gives you that, how would I say that, more confidence that you will succeed than that person, like we talked about earlier, who may not have a plan.
Now, it's important to have a CPA too.
Regardless, but I mean, Lorrie, wouldn't you agree?
Oh, I absolutely agree. I always applaud people when they come in at the beginning of their business venture and are willing to spend a little bit of money to find out how to do things right, rather than a year later when they've messed everything up. And sorry about that. And they've got themselves in a pickle with the state agencies or the federal government or whatever, and that happens a lot. And a lot of the reasons why businesses fail in the first year or two is because they don't know what they don't know, and they don't try to find out.
Well, but how much is too much? I mean, as far as getting into debt up front with, say, CPAs and attorneys, and how
what's a reasonable expectation
A reasonable expectation
for
of
spending money to get your business started, to get all that advice?
Well, it will depend on the complexity of the business also, because if it's just you, if you're a sole proprietor, then it's one person. But say you've got a partnership, and maybe you have 5 partners. Well, then, you've got to engage an attorney to get those documents drafted correctly. CPAs are prohibited by our rules of practicing law. We can't help you with those. You have to go to an attorney. We can do all the other financial projections, but I think any money spent up front is well spent money.
So now you're talking, as far as that agreement up front, you're talking really about a buy-sell agreement and kind of addressing
what happens if things do go south? Who owns what, and how do you get out of business before you go into business?
The D's of business, the death, divorce, dishonesty.
Well, the first thing I learned in college when Business 101. Dr. Tom Schiller, I never forget that. He said the first thing you do is make sure you know how to get out of business before you go into business.
Absolutely.
Because when everybody's happy, you're making the right decisions. It's when you get ready to get out of business and you haven't made those decisions that things can go really cattywampus.
Well,
Which you'll use that word how often?
You're absolutely right, and I actually tell my clients to treat it like a prenuptial agreement, because that's really what it is. It's not a matter of if the partnership will end; it's a matter of when. Because generally they don't go on forever and ever, at least not with the same partners that start it.
Yeah, that makes sense. Because you could, one partner can sell out, or he can sell back, or she or he can do those kinds of things, and you can grow the business, add more partners.
Sure, you can, and as you do that, you have to have a mechanism for bringing them in and letting them go.
And it makes sense that you've actually made that foresight that how are we going to manage our business as it grows and contracts throughout the cyclical cycle of, the economy,
right.
which is, we all know, goes up and down.
Well, and understanding where do you want that business to go? And a lot of times when you have business partners, one just wants to work and make money, and the other one
wants to spend.
Wants to spend.
Yep,
so you got the makers and the spenders. So and it's important that you have some way of having an agreement. I was actually talking with a colleague the other day, and he was talking just about that, where they grew their business real quick over a period of 2 years, and They did really well maintaining their overhead, and one partner just wanted to pocket all the money, and he wanted to reinvest. And in the end, they had to basically dissolve the partnership and go their separate ways.
And if they had that thought up in place up front, it would be real simple to do, so you wouldn't have any issues or concerns with that.
Yeah, absolutely. That's absolutely correct. And you need to keep and there's things you want to keep in mind when you're starting a business. Like, there's different ways to form your entity. What type of entity works best for the type of business that you're doing. You need to understand, everybody needs to understand that banks are going to require personal guarantees. A lot of people still think, I'll form a corporation and then the corporation will buy the money. No. The corporation won't borrow the money. They'll have you sign, and all of the shareholders will sign, or the partners will sign. And so you need to understand that. And even in the SBA loan program, most of the time, even if you don't have equity in your house, they'll lean on it.
Now, from a CPA standpoint, you're talking about different formations and stuff. Do you still highly recommend people get out of the sole proprietor?
Well, yeah, I think that sole proprietors. I'm not an attorney, but I try to advise people away from it for tax reasons as well as liability reasons. I do advise, and actually in audit reasons, because right now the IRS has targeted Schedule C sole proprietor businesses for audits, and they're auditing very highly on those.
Well, one of the things that we need to know is, excuse me, if you're out there and you're looking for money, and you say, okay, you're going to have to put up a personal guarantee. How do you avoid putting up a personal guarantee, or is that possible? I mean, can you?
Well, if you're going the traditional route, I would say no. There's no way to get around the personal guarantee. But now, if you start moving towards a non-traditional route, where we start talking angel investors online, where you're making a move into Prosper, a move into Kickstarter, if you're going the VC route, those areas don't require you to go in and do a personal guarantee 80% of the time.
Oh, very cool. So, but you will have to if you go through a bank or something like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
So, Scott, tell us a little bit about this angel investing, and I know you're quite familiar with it. What does that look like?
I love angels. If you're out there listening, keep investing in small companies. The United States grows off of you, and businesses appreciate and love all of you that are listening.
So what can you expect to pay? I mean, we all think about, if I get an angel investor out there or a venture capitalist, are they going to take half my company, or all my control, or what's going to go on?
No. What you'll find is that a VC company, if you approach them right off the bat, they're going to want a majority share of your company. So VC is a venture capital company.
I've heard that called vulture capital, but that's another story.
And there's some reasons for it. I mean, they're taking the financial risk in you, and a lot of people go, yeah, but I'm betting my future too. But they don't care. It's the money.
So what exactly is an angel investor, and how is it different than a venture capitalist?
Well, when you're approaching an angel investor, first of all, you got to go get all your legal paperwork set up, because you got to make sure that they're signing all the proper stuff. Now, when I started my very first company, when I graduated, I made the mistake of raising money without having that, and that is a big no-no.
So tell us a little bit about this paperwork that you're talking about. What is it exactly?
Well, your lawyer will help you set it up, and what it is
will help you set that
basically, it's paperwork that the angel investor is going to sign to tell that they are an accredited investor. So it's called accredited investor paperwork. And it's part of your business plan that the lawyer puts together for you.
What's an accredited investor versus any other investor?
So an accredited investor, it also depends on the state that you're in. $250,000 annual income combined for a husband and spouse, $1 million valuation of your net worth is an accredited investor. So they investing in you can lose that money without damaging themselves financially is what it means.
Okay, and so do the angel investors, do they go through a process then other than, so is it a financial planner or is it an attorney that calculates that for them?
No, the reality is this is where you get to hone how much you truly believe in the product that you have, because an angel investor is going to want you to present the product and the idea to them. And depending on who you speak to, you can have anywhere from as little as 7 minutes to approach a group or an individual up to, if they really like your product, an hour and a half to get them involved with the product.
So now if you watch TV on, I guess it's Friday nights, and you see Shark Tank, are they are those venture capitalists or are those
vultures,
angel investors?
Those are VC companies. The reality is angel investors. You'll be surprised. Angel investors are the guys that are walking around just like you are, driving to work every day. They work at Weyerhaeuser, they work at Boeing, they work at Microsoft. They've just accumulated a net worth that puts them into that area. They're great. Honestly, angel investors are easy to approach. Not all of them. I mean, let's be honest. Not everybody's easy to approach, but the majority of angels I've approached are very easy to talk to.
So how do you find them?
Yeah, exactly. How do you find these folks?
Well, believe it or not, I always tell people, surround yourselves with mentors, people in your community. Go to your Chamber of Commerce, start talking to people. Those people are going to get you connected with people. My mentor, Jim Hammer, John Williamson, both who are local here, both have started their own companies, have been very successful. Our angel investors themselves have introduced me to other angels in the Tacoma area. You would be very surprised at the number of angels you have in your local area, just here locally. There are a lot.
What can you expect an angel? I mean, different from a vulture. It's venture capitalist. What do they want out of the deal? Besides, do they just want a return, or
well, they could be looking for a return on their investment over a period of time, or they could just be looking for a ownership take on your company. But they're not going to come in and ask for 50% of your company for $25,000. They're going to be very fair about the assessment they're going to make and in the money. But what they're looking for is a longer term return. So 3 to 5 years for their money to come back to them. And honestly, everybody thinks that an angel is looking for a $25,000 investment to become millions of dollars. That's not what they're looking for. They would be happy to see a double of that return over a 5-year period.
So now I've heard of a new term out here. I don't know if you're ready. I don't want to throw this at you, but patient capital. Are you familiar with that term, patient capital? It seems to me that the angel might fit in that patient, being it's a longer-term investment. We're not looking for an instant return on our investment. We're willing to wait that out as patiently as possible to help out. That's the term. That's the way I've heard it described.
Right. And that's what more and more angel investors are looking for. They're looking for solid ideas with a solid team behind that's not coming to them and going, you're going to be beyond wealthy, we're going to sell this company for $100 million in 6 months. No, they're looking for real financials. They're looking for a strong team, and they're looking for, again, like we talked about earlier, that integrity and honesty.
Okay.
Well,
why don't we go and take a break here? And once again, we're stopping right on that integrity and honesty.
Excellent.
I think it's a great place to
because it's all about people. I just had a friend of mine text me something about business, and it was interesting. They're listening out there, and they're going, Darrel, business is all about people and its integrity and their honesty and so forth. So I think, Tom, you're out there. You heard that, right?
Yeah, and John, take us to break.
Okay. And this is Clay, 1180, and I'm Darrel Bowman.
And I'm Mel West.
We'll be right back after these short messages from our sponsors.
Cloudsway removes the hassle of small business financial management. Easily upload receipts, bills, invoices, POs, and other business expenses through your mobile device, email, or scanner. Cloudsway automatically scans your data and matches each transaction to your bank and credit cards. Invite staff to send their corporate receipts, allowing the team to contribute and collaborate, managing all company financial data in one location. Cloudsway's reports and alerts help to guard against fraud and expense abuse. Cloudsway makes it easy to protect your company's most prized possession, its financial security. Visit cloudsway.com.
AimBiz.com brings you the life of a business website. The majority of business websites can't be found by search engines, so their owners lose customers and money. An AIM business website wins new customers on Google and Facebook. Imagine your website with great content management, an integrated blog, clean designs, and clear messages. To top it off, at aimbiz.com, you get a free website design mock-up before you ever spend a dime. For more information, go to aimbiz.com. That's AIMBIZ.com.
Tacoma's waterfront. A unique local asset providing recreational opportunities, jobs to support the local economy, and a safe haven for marine wildlife. The Tacoma Waterfront Association is dedicated to promoting Tacoma's waterfront. Join the TWA at its popular monthly meeting to learn more about Tacoma's waterfront and how you can be a part of making it great. Join the TWA on the second Wednesday of each month from 11:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the Center for Urban Waters to be a part of the community's strength that's making a difference for Tacoma's greatest asset. It's waterfront. For more info, visit TacomaWaterfrontAssociation.org. That's TacomaWaterfrontAssociation.org.
In Pierce County, 17% of residents are food insecure. That's 1 in 6 people who are unsure where their next meal is coming from. Someone you know is going hungry. What can you do about it? Help support Fish Food Banks of Pierce County. For every dollar received, Fish's 8 food bank locations can distribute $7 worth of food to families in need. To learn more about stopping hunger here in Pierce County, go to fishfoodbanks.org. That's fishfoodbanks.org.
Hey, welcome back. This is Darrel Bowman.
And
I'm your
Mel-
IT pro with Mel West.
Yeah.
Your business.
And we're sitting here talking with Lorrie Rarey and Scott West, and we're talking a little bit about small business financing and using a CPA to get your finances in a row.
And that's the best way to approach it, is have somebody out there that, well, as a CPA, you got my back and my money. So, well, go ahead,
We don't
Lorrie.
really get your money. We just help you watch over it.
Oh, that's the whole point. You got my back with my money.
There you go.
There we go. Hey, we were talking at the break here, and one of the things that came up was, where do you find these folks, these investors, these angels, these venture capitalists, and so forth? I mean, I know they're out there in the community, but where specifically are they? Online? What?
You can find a lot of them online. There's online networks you can go to. But here locally, just talking about the Tacoma, Pierce County area, the Tacoma Angel... the Tacoma Angels Network is a really great one to start with. It's a very low pay-in to go and speak in front of them. Most angel networks are going to ask you to put some money forward first.
I'm totally unaware of that. What's that? What's all that about?
What's that about? That pay-in?
Let's so like Tacoma Angel Network, I think it's a pretty low one. I think it's under $1,000. Guys, if you're listening, I apologize if I'm wrong on that, but I believe it's under $1,000. And what that does is that gets you in front of a group of angels in order to pitch your idea from that. And each one of those angels are able to write a check for anywhere between $25,000 and up.
Oh, yeah. I many years ago had an opportunity to speak in front of that, so that was a great experience, and I learned a lot. We didn't get the money or anything like that. It was a great program, great process, but they were able to give me great advice and great solid information about how to manage the business plan to change it so that it would be viable for future opportunities.
So that's kind of weeding out the people that aren't sincere or just don't have their stuff in order.
But the other thing is, too, is a lot of people believe, I'm just paying to go up and speak in front of these guys. But that's not the case at all. Many times they'll mentor you, tell you what you've done right or what you've done wrong. Another great group out of the Bellevue, Seattle area is the Karatsu Group, and they charge you right around $1,500 to $2,000, but they groom you to get you up in front of the angels that you'll be speaking in front of. So you actually go in front of 3 separate panels, do your pitches, and they tell you what you've done right, what you've done wrong, and then send you out to the Boise, Idaho area, Portland, Oregon, and Seattle to pitch to all 3 of those angel networks.
Now, what if
that's
a person
nice.
Or a small, startup company doesn't have the money to actually pay to get in front of these venture capitalists?
Well, again, that's I think where you go to family and friends, but there have been some great opportunities due to social networking and the web that have popped up that allow companies to go out and borrow money although at extremely high interest rates, mind you.
So what are these places?
Well, one of them that's really hot is Prosper.com, and that's the big one that's out there right now. I went out and took a loan out personally myself to see how easy it would be. I asked for $5,000. Within 2 weeks, I was fully funded on that. Now, my interest rate on that was on 28% interest rate. So you're paying quite a bit of interest on that.
So they're like right at the usury rate almost.
Oh, boy.
Absolutely. But what is it worth to you? I mean, if you truly believe in your company and you're not able to find other avenues in order to finance and you need that money, can you afford those payments every month? And they don't ask you to personally guarantee those loans. So these people who are investing in you in Prosper are accredited angels themselves through that network.
So what can you ask for? For a business? For a swimming pool? What can I do?
I was just on this morning just to see what else was on there. Quite a few. I want to start my own business in there, asking for $25,000. But there were also people looking to build a swimming pool and needed $15,000. Another way also people are using it is to consolidate their home debt and putting that as a loan package in there. So they might be paying $800 a month at 26% interest, but with all of their debt consolidated, it's less than the credit card debt and the debts that they have out there. That's pretty smart from an accountant side, wouldn't you think?
Oh yeah, definitely. Anytime you can reduce your, your outgo and use that to benefit yourself, then that's definitely the way to go.
Is there any tax implications there, Lorrie?
Well, credit card debt is consumer debt. It's not tax deductible. Interest is not tax deductible. And I would venture to say that this type of debt is also consumer debt, not tax deductible. Now, if it's business debt, you're borrowing it to start your business, then absolutely, it's deductible as a business expense.
Well, are there other places? I know we're going to be talking to somebody out there, Kickstarter.com. What's your experience with those folks?
Absolutely phenomenal. As a matter of fact, one of the cases I'm sure they'll bring up when you're speaking with them in the next couple of weeks, right now, currently, there's a company on there that's raised close to $8 million through Kickstarter. It's a really phenomenal website if you stop and look at it. The people who are investing in these companies literally are taking Dystopia was a great example of one that started off there, and Mark Zuckerberg actually invested in that through Kickstarter.
I actually invested in a movie called This Is Ours up in Seattle that was produced about 6 months ago.
And that was one of those A-plus movies, right?
Actually, it's at the Independent Filmmakers Festival down in L.A. this coming up pretty shortly. It's certainly independent. So it's from some great people here locally.
I would say for anybody who's looking to start a business, and actually anybody who's in a business that is tight for cash right now, I would go and look at Prosper.com and Kickstarter.com seriously and take a look at it. Not only that, start working on your presentation. You need a 7-minute presentation, and I think Lorrie will tell you the same thing on this. You need a 7-minute presentation that sells your company, because if you can't sell your company in 7 minutes, then no angel is going to be interested in hearing any more from you. You've got to have that pitch.
It's that elevator pitch that is a little extended, so you get stuck between floors.
Now, Scott, are you familiar with Startup America at all?
I am not.
And it's interesting. We had Calvin Goings on here, and the SBA's got a new program that they've aligned with Startup America, and it's a way for small businesses. I think that's under 5 years. They're able to get mentoring and help, and there's a lot of different companies that come together and collaborate and help small businesses grow their businesses. But one of the things that they do is that they teach businesses how to put their pitch together.
Fantastic. Well, it's been great, having you folks here today, and always, because, you've got some great things to say. And, we want to talk about how we find you in the future. If people want to get more information from you and Lorrie, so Scott, Lorrie, how do they find you so they know that road show's coming up?
Oh, well, just to close, I just wanted to say a couple other things, that there is a lot of resources on the internet for figuring out and finding out how you do this. The SBA actually has podcasts and training and that kind of thing that you can sign up for. And, again, keep in mind that you're going to have to put some skin in the game, whether it's with the angel investors or with the bank or the credit union or whatever. You're still going to have some skin in the game, just besides your time. And to find me, you can always find me at my website at www.rarey, RAREY, CPAS.com.
And to locate me, Scott West, you can always email me at swest@cloudsway.com or go to our website at www.cloudsway.com.
Well, before we go, we talked about a little bit about the CPA. What's Cloudsway again?
Cloudsway is corporate business management for small businesses, financial management through the cloud.
Oh, that's exciting. And you guys, we had you on at the beginning of the year, and with any startup, you have some of the challenges, Scott. So
we could do a whole show just on that.
We'll skip the challenges for now because everybody's going to have them regardless of your company.
Well, thanks for coming on and joining us today. It's been exciting just to be able to continue the conversation about financing and small businesses and helping businesses grow.
Yeah, and we'll be available on iTunes and on our website at BizTechTalk.net to download and podcast. So if you want to share this with people in the future, you're more than welcome to do that. It'll be available later on today. That means, make sure I get it there.
And thank you for having us on.
Yeah, and as always, we want you to think about growing your business, looking for those veterans that can help you to grow that business, and look for veteran-owned businesses, and you can go to va.gov to find the people that are registered out there that are veteran-owned businesses.
Well, it's interesting you talk about the VA and stuff, and I was out Saturday golfing at the Veterans Lake Golf Course. I was golfing with a 94-year-old guy, and one of the things that I asked him, I said, well, what's your secret to longevity? And he says, well, a lot of people ask me that. And he said, it's kind of like what goes in here, and he is pointing to his mouth comes out down there. And, and as you think about business, it's kind of the same thing is what you put into
garbage
your business
in, garbage out.
Is what you're going to get out. And that's, kind of an important thing to think about. So as you start your business, find a good team, have that CPA, have that attorney, have a mentor or two, people that can really pull you together.
Yeah, just like any other tech, Scott will tell you, programming, garbage in, garbage out. It's the only thing that you know for sure. So again, Mel and I'd like to thank you for taking your time from your busy day to join us on BizTechTalk, where we're always exploring the fascinating world of business and technology right here every Tuesday, noon to 1. Thanks again.
And please thank our veterans who served us by seeking out their businesses and hiring them when a position is open to your company. Join us next week.
Next week, we're going to be here and talking with a new venture. So anyway, again, BizTech Talk 1180. Thanks for joining us.
Cloudsway removes the hassle of small business financial management. Easily upload receipts, bills, invoices, POs, and other business expenses